everybody, and welcome to my December Journal with Me video, the final journal video of 2020. I can't believe that it is the final month of the year, and I'm so excited to share my December spreads with you all. So for my December spreads, I wanted to do a very Christmassy theme. I still wanted green and red involved, but I had a lot of washi tape that was kind of more on the neutral side, had a lot of browns with little bits of red and green, and that's kind of what I wanted to do for my overall December spreads this month. So at the beginning, you saw me flip through that package of Christmassy cardstock, and I cut out a piece to write December on for my title page. And then I go around with some of my Christmas washi tape. I have some that's just plain red colors, and then I also have some with snowmen on them, and then also one with like a red truck and Christmas trees on it, and I just love those washi tapes so much, so I use them quite a bit throughout all of these spreads. And then because it's December, it is Christmas time, my favorite holiday, I decided that I wanted to put as much Christmas into the spread that I could. So on the left side, I decided to do like a quote page. I've never done a quote page on like the left side of the title page. I always just kind of leave this page blank, but I decided to put a quote in here. It just says, "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas." You know, a classic quote. Also one of my favorite, Christmas songs as well. So yeah, I just wanted to add some more Christmas into these spreads. Even though they are very Christmassy, I just thought it was a nice touch. So I decided to add some more washi tape, and then that is it for the kind of initial title page for the month of December, and now we're going to be going into my monthly overview and calendar spread. So this is just like every month, I'm freehanding the boxes. I've come to the conclusion that when I use a ruler to make the boxes, I always end up moving the ruler and then it ends up looking really bad. And I feel like if you go for that imperfect look, if you make a mistake, it almost looks intentional. So I just freehand the boxes and I kind of like the way that it looks. But yeah, I draw the boxes for the whole month and I go in and add the numbers and the December title and everything. And then I also have my trackers on the side as well. So for my trackers, I keep track of my followers on YouTube as well as both my Instagrams, my Bookstagram, and my journaling Instagram. I also keep track of where my videos are in the editing process. I find keeping track of where my videos are in the whole editing process very helpful, just because I never know like what I need to get done. If I need to edit a video still, if I need to caption a video, where it's kind of at, and it's really nice to kind of keep track of everything and know exactly what I need to get done by which day. So here I'm going in with more of that Christmassy cardstock. I use a lot of the plaid patterns for these spreads this month, and I kind of rip out some of those pages as well as just some plain brown paper as well, and that's kind of something that I do kind of throughout all of the December spreads that I have. So again, just kind of adding some more Christmassy washi tape. There's a lot of washi tape in these spreads. And now we're moving on to a really exciting Christmas related spread. So I love watching Christmas movies in December. It's part of my favorite thing about Christmas, and I have so many movies that I like to watch every year, so I decided to do this spread to kind of keep track of every movie that I want to try and watch and which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. And this spread is pretty blank just because I hadn't really gone through and made the list of all the movies I want to watch, so it just says Christmas movies, and I will probably post a picture onto my journaling Instagram of it completed, which is just at Lisa Marie Journals if you want to follow me. But I'm just gonna make like a list, a checklist sort of thing of all the Christmas movies that I want to watch, and once I watch them I will kind of fill in the little check mark. And yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun way to kind of keep track of all of the movies I want to watch and make sure I see a lot of the ones that I like to watch every single year. So the next two spreads are also very Christmassy spreads. So on the left side, I'm going to be doing a countdown to Christmas, sort of advent calendar sort of thing. I did actually start to write out advent calendar, and then I decided to change it to countdown to Christmas. So you will see me do that mistake. But I wanted to kind of keep track of the days counting down to Christmas just because it's so exciting. I typically do have an actual advent calendar that I use, but I thought it'd be fun to track it in my journal as well. So what I decided to do was draw 25 ornaments. I originally was going to do just 24, but then when I was drawing the ornaments, I miscounted because that's what I do. Even though I planned it out, I still managed to miscount them, but I did 25, which is not the end of the world. I'll just count Christmas as well, but I drew 25 ornaments, and I will just color one in every day of the month of December to count down to Christmas, and it's just going to be something fun to do in my journal during December. Unfortunately, my camera did cut off when I was drawing a lot of the details on those ornaments, but as you can see, I just kind of added a little bit of extra stuff to the ornaments so that they weren't just solid colored ornaments for me to color in every day. I thought it would just be a bit more exciting to color in every day if there was like different colors in them. But moving on to my next spread, it's going to be a shopping list spread, which I don't normally do just in general, but I wanted to keep track of all of the different Christmas gifts I needed to buy for people and what I have purchased and what I still need to buy, because it's currently the 25th of November when I'm recording this voiceover and I haven't bought anybody anything. So I'm doing well. I'm only slightly stressed out, but I'm trying not to get too stressed out. But I want to keep track of everything that I need to buy for people and what I have bought and everything. So I thought having it in my journal would be a nice way to kind of keep track of everything and just have a place to write everything down. But now we are moving on to a spread that I have in my journal every month, and that is my books read and also my pages read per day spreads. So on the left side, I will have my books read page, which will just be me keeping track of any book that I read during the month of December. Okay, right now I'm just flipping back to my shopping list page to add some of the white gel pen, but now I'm back. So on the right side, I'm going to be doing my pages read per day spread. So I just like to keep track of the amount of pages that I read every day, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep this spread or this page in my journal next year, or I don't know, I might try it out in January not having this spread because I just find that it's not like the most interesting, and honestly, I don't really care to keep up with it. Like, it is interesting to see how many pages I read per day, but at the same time, I just find it not completely necessary. So we'll see if it stays. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. I was thinking maybe just having a pages read per day kind of section on any sort of like readathon TBR spread that I might have. So if I'm participating in a readathon, I'll put a little section for the pages I read during that readathon, but I don't think I want a whole spread every single month for it. And I was thinking I could even do like a movies or TV shows watched spread on the other side instead and have that kind of to track. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing. So now we're moving on to my habit tracker spread. So in the past couple of months, in November and October, I had my habit tracker as well as a mood tracker on the same page, and I kind of decided that I just don't really care for mood trackers. I find it not really helpful or something that I really care to keep track of. Maybe when life kind of goes back to normal and every day doesn't just feel the same, maybe I'll want a mood tracker again. But as of right now, I just don't find it very necessary. I don't find it something that I find interesting. So what I decided to do is just have this spread go back to just being a habit tracker spread. So because I had that extra space on my spread where the mood tracker would have been, I decided to add a couple more things to track. I don't want to do nearly as many as I used to. I used to track like 12 different things, and that was just excessive. But I decided to add a couple more this month. So I decided to not only just have one skincare tracker, but a one for AM and one for PM. I typically only do my skincare once a day. Sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it at night, but they're different routines, and I kind of wanted to differentiate between when I do one or the other. I didn't want to just have one for just overall skincare. I wanted one for the morning and one for nighttime. I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of track both of those things. And then I went back to doing two different trackers for both of my Instagrams. I did have one that was just for Instagram in general, so if I posted at all, I would use that one, but I decided to do two different trackers, one for my Bookstagram and one for my journaling Instagram, just because I found that when I had one tracker for both, I thought I had been posting to my Bookstagram more often than I actually was, so I thought maybe it would be better to have them separate so I knew when I could post to Bookstagram and when I posted to my journal one, and hopefully be more active on both. And now we have my monthly favorites page, which I just love these spreads so much. I love being able to look back on some of my favorite things at that moment. So like every month, I have a section for music, any sort of entertainment, so movies or TV shows or anything like that, and then a lifestyle section, so just kind of random things that I liked throughout the month, and then any memories that I might want to look back on. I just like having a place where I can kind of reflect on the month, and it's always really fun to kind of go back and look at these spreads, in the future. So yeah, that is my monthly favorites page and also my habit tracker page. So now we're moving on to my weekly spreads, and this month I decided to do something a bit different. Normally I would just use these last 2 pages of the month to kind of map out the whole entire month. I would do like 6 boxes, one for each week, and then just kind of a general notes area, but I decided that I wanted to do like weekly kind of spreads. Because I had extra pages at the back of my journal, I figured I might as well space them out and have more space to plan out everything that I need to get done. So I decided to dedicate one whole page to a whole week and kind of have that extra space to plan everything. I know I have a lot of videos and a lot of exciting things happening in the month of December, so I figured any extra space might actually be helpful. So I just used some brown paper to kind of separate the different weeks. I also added some stars with my white gel pen as well as more Christmassy washi tape because of course. And then I drew 7 boxes for the 7 days of the week, and I'm excited to see if I need this much space for every single day of the month, but we'll see. I'm excited to try it out and use a weekly spread kind of thing instead of just the boxes for each week. We'll see how much I like this. And this is about when I realized that I am a clown who completely spaced out for some reason and forgot that there would be 5 weeks needed for these types of spreads. So there's just me sketching out quickly what I need to do, like the spacing and everything, and I'm just making another weekly spread. I don't know why I completely spaced out on the fact that I would need 5 spreads in 5 weeks. I don't know, but it's fine. I figured it out. I was very quick to space it all out, and I just added that at the end. But then I realized, because I miscounted, that there is this blank page at the end of the month, and I figured, it's, again, December, it's Christmas time, I might as well put as much Christmas into these spreads as possible. So what I did was I took some of that cardstock from before, kind of on the same page that I took for the December title page, that little square. I cut out another square that had some Christmas lyrics on it, and I just kind of used some of the scraps, some of the plaid paper that I had used before, some brown paper as well, and just kind of made this collage type of thing. I added some Christmassy washi tape as well as some stars later on. I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the cutest spread that I've ever done, and I definitely could have done something a bit more interesting or just cuter, better, I don't know, but I was losing kind of my steam at the end. I was losing some creativity, so this was kind of the best I could think to do and could come up with, so I'm still pretty happy with it, and I'm just glad that I don't have an empty page and it had something to do with Christmas, so at least there's that. Alright, so that was the final spread, so here is a flip through of what my December journal ended up looking like. I'm really happy with these spreads. I love how Christmassy they are, and if you do a bullet journal or a reading journal or anything like that, I would love to know what your theme for December is. Did you do something Christmassy, or did you do something holiday themed for whatever holiday you might celebrate? Did you do something wintry themed, or did you just do something completely random? I would love to know what your theme is for December. But other than that, that's going to complete this December Journal With Me video, the final Journal With Me for 2020. I can't believe it. We've made it through this whole year. Who would have thought? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you have not already. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.